Mycoplasma bovis has spread to Taranaki with a farm on lockdown after tests confirmed the region's first case of the cattle disease. The Ministry for Primary Industry says some cows will be culled because of the high risk it could spread to other properties. The Ministry says it's carried out 250,000 tests for M. bovis and paid out around $33 million in compensation. Donald McIntyre is the Taranaki President of Federated Farmers and joins me now. Good evening, Donald. How concerning is this?
It's probably inevitable in the fact that the farm in question had movements into an infected herd. So, that was a reasonably straightforward situation that they found themselves in.
So how long have you known about it, that there was an issue?
The testing has been ongoing probably for the last 3 or 4 months, I suppose, 5 months, I'm not quite sure.
So when you say there were farm movements, what do you mean exactly? How is it thought that the infection got onto this property?
Stock were moved from a property of infection to this property, and so that's the link that has been followed, yeah.
Were those stock movements before or after the additional restrictions?
Well before, yes, and before the host property had any indication that they were infected as well.
It must be a pretty distressing time for the farmer whose property it is. What are you doing to support them?
The Rural Support Trust is putting as much effort as they can into supporting this person because, yes, it is a very distressing time. The animals on any farm they're personal to the owner, and when you work with them every day, you build up a big rapport with the animals, and so having to do things that are going to be probably done under this M. bovis control mechanism is very distressing for farmers. No matter how rigid, top-lip you are, it still affects you.
Are there many properties neighbouring this particular farm?
I think it's a fairly straightforward square operation, so there's probably about 4 or 5 neighbours. I'm not 100% sure how many.
Do you know how the neighbours are feeling about it? Because I suppose it raises questions for them as well.
I haven't had a chance to contact them, but I understand that the farm has been ring-fenced prior to this breakdown notice, so that the boundaries were well fenced, etc., to contain the stock within the farm. So the risk of stock getting out was minimised.
So what do you think this all means for the eradication program? Do you think that eradication is actually achievable?
Oh, very much so. Yep, and this is just another step in that process. So
why do you say that? Why do you say that, Donald, that you still think it's achievable, despite the fact that we're getting a new notification?
Why do you think it's not achievable?
But what do you reckon?
Why do you think it's not achievable?
No, I'm just asking what makes you think it is achievable, given that you're getting fresh outbreaks, basically.
Yes, but like I said earlier, this was traced through under the normal tracing system through innate movements to an infected herd, and so that's how this breakdown has been identified, is that they've had movements from an infected herd. So any movements out of this herd to other properties will also be traced and then tested to check whether they are infected as well. So
do you know anything about?
It's just an ongoing process.
Do you know anything about the volume of cows which were moving from this property in recent times and where they have gone?
No.
Right. Are you convinced that farmers, there's been a lot of criticism of farmers in the past not properly tracking stock movements. Do you think that is all being done above board now?
I wouldn't think it's a lot different from what it has been. The NATE system has got a lot of clunks in it, and they are working to try and rectify those. But I think farmers are certainly putting a lot more effort into trying to sort out their NATE records, but that will take time for them to fully come compliant. So it's a process that we need to go through.
Appreciate your time this evening. That is Donald McIntyre, who's the Taranaki President of Federated Farmers, talking there about this farm that's basically on lockdown after Mycoplasma bovis has been confirmed for the first time in the Taranaki area.